And welcome to the program. I'm Roby Brock. Thanks for joining us. Last week, Arkansas Children's announced a $318 million expansion that will result in new facilities and services statewide. I caught up with CEO Marcy Doderer for a conversation. Joining me now, Marcy Doderer. She's the CEO of Arkansas Children's. It is always good to sit down with her. Happy Mother's Day to you. I hope that it is a good one for you.
Absolutely. I'll be in Chicago later to spend time with one of my daughters. So Mother's Day is a wonderful day for me.
All right. Let's talk about this expansion that you guys announced a little over a week ago, a $318 million expansion. At least that's where it stands now. I know to know enough about these things that they could, different things can happen. So what's driving the expansion? Tell me what the needs are that you're seeing.
So we're really responding to a couple of different pressures in the marketplace, depending on where we sit. So $318 million is our expansion plan for the state. Really involves major expansion and growth in Northwest Arkansas in the Springdale area on our Springdale campus, and then major growth here in Little Rock. And they are driven a bit by different things. If it's okay with you, I'll start with Northwest Arkansas. ACNW, Arkansas Children's Northwest, just celebrated 5 years of being in existence. I can't believe it's gone that fast. It was built as a small community hospital, knowing that we would probably steadily and readily have to expand it in order to meet the needs of that community. And as the population continues to really move up in Northwest Arkansas, there are more kids demanding services from our state. What we've also found, though, is being up there in that corner of Arkansas, we are attractive to families in Eastern Oklahoma and Southern Missouri. And so we find it's now time to expand our spaces at ACNW, adding inpatient rooms, operating rooms, clinic space, and then all the ancillary stuff that comes with it. So the pressures in Northwest Arkansas are really about growth, and we started small and we need to get a little bigger. In Little Rock, it's actually a bit of a different story. So Arkansas Children's Hospital, sitting right here in Little Rock with us, is our big tertiary children's hospital. It draws not just from all over the state, but also the region. And we're starting to see a need to change a bit of how we approach outpatient care. So for the first time, we're actually building a dedicated ambulatory surgery center. So a better, more efficient, and purposely designed for kids place for outpatient surgery. It's time to refresh how we really approach outpatient clinic visits. So the outpatient services and our spaces are a little old, and we want to be able to deliver that care in the most contemporary way. So that's going to mean a new building, and then moving into the old building and doing a lot of renovation there. And then lastly, really wanting to be responsive to the patient and the family's experience. So as this construction on our campus here progresses, people will experience entering Arkansas Children's Hospital very differently than they do today. It's going to require a whole new front entrance, better wayfinding, consolidation of family-related services, and easy to locate spaces, all of that. So it's a multi-pressured process that we're responding to that lands in our largest expansion ever.
Talk to me a little bit too. There's no super specific details released because there's still a lot of conversations that need to happen with stakeholders, with people that are going to be users of the facility, and not to mention construction and design team.
Yeah.
Tell me about that process. How long will that last, and kind of what are expectations on your end for that?
A great question. So we secured quietly through an open bid process. Our architects chose Cromwell and Polk Stanley Wilcox, who came together in a partnered approach to respond to that bid. And then we chose Nabholz through the bid process for general contractor. So they've been on the team starting to lay the groundwork since about February-ish. We're in the midst of doing what we call visioning and care mapping and bringing all those stakeholders together, like you commented on, to make sure we understand the ultimate aim of the spaces we're going to design. I would expect schematic design, that's kind of the phrase we would use for it, to cover through the summer months. And at the end of the summer, early fall is where we'll probably have better renderings to be able to show the public of how we envision the new building looking, how we envision the expansion at ACNW looking. In Little Rock, shovels in the ground, if schedule holds true, before the end of the calendar year-ish. Our ultimate goal is new buildings are open for business in the early part of 2026. And of course, there's a domino effect getting us into all the renovation and new spaces that go beyond that. So hoping to have a pretty expedited process, given supply chain challenges, workforce challenges, all of that. But hopefully you will see shovels in the dirt before we hit Thanksgiving.
All
That's
right.
my expectation anyway.
You mentioned obviously Central and Northwest Arkansas. You guys are a statewide system. Are there some plans for additional, I don't know if it's necessarily buildings, but services and some sort of part of this expansion touches Northeast Arkansas or South Arkansas?
So the dollars that we've spoken to in this expansion plan are just for the 2 hospital campuses, ACNW and ACH. But we are in year 3 of that really bold strategic plan. One of whose initiatives is really to say, how could we be within 60 miles of any child of Arkansas? And we don't mean that solely with bricks and mortar. We think about partnerships with other providers, partnerships with communities, telehealth, that kind of thing. So we're continuing to march forward on all of our strategic initiatives, even while we're building out these master facility plans for the 2 hospital campuses. So Northeast Arkansas is incredibly important to us. We keep adding providers to that clinic. We've renovated it and are actually starting to feel a little pressure of the walls in terms of how busy that place is becoming. And we'll have to keep looking at how we do more and grow more in Northeast Arkansas. But we are really pleased with how we're building teamwork with community, whether it's the other local providers, pediatricians, but really trying to answer to the call of families in Northeast Arkansas and allow them to get most of what they could in Northeast Arkansas. So more to come there over the coming year.
All right, you mentioned too in the press release announcing this expansion that there are going to be maybe as many as 100 new providers, 400 new team members. I don't have to tell you, there's a healthcare worker shortage. Yes. Around the world, not much less in Arkansas. And there's a lot of pay pressures that we've seen. How are you going to juggle all that? Do you have any concerns that you might not be able to find 500 new employees?
Of course, I mean, I would be lying if I told you that was easy peasy and everyone's already signed on, and they're just waiting to start. That's not true. It is a tough and a long road. So when you think about this 5 or 6 year construction plan, it also gives us leeway and staggering on how we're hiring them. The provider workforce between the 2 campuses will probably be well over 100 new providers that we need in Arkansas to deliver specialty care to kids. And then the employees grow from there.
She is Marcy Doderer. She's the CEO of Arkansas Children's. Always a pleasure to visit with you. Wish it was face-to-face beyond.
Apologize for the schedule, but
perhaps next time. So thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you very much for hearing our story and sharing what we're doing in Arkansas for the kids. Appreciate it.